Hi, I'm Dr. Kyle Su. I'm a family doctor who specializes in caring for people with developmental differences and their families. Now, there are people in the autism community that prefer person-first verbiage, such as saying, someone with autism, as well as others that embrace autism as an integral part of who they are as an individual, who would prefer to be referred to as an autistic person. For inclusivity, I will be using both these terms, and for these reasons, it is important for navigators to ask the individual for their preferred method to be addressed. There is a document included in the module called Words Matter that provides a more detailed look and examples of the difference and importance of person-first and condition-first verbiage. Feel free to take a look. In this first of two videos, you will learn about what autism spectrum disorder is and what approaches you might use to successfully engage and support autism. Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a lifelong condition that is associated with different social communication and can present with a pattern of narrow or inflexible behaviors and interests. Autism is a spectrum. Each person is unique. So if you've met one person with autism, you've really only met one person with autism. Therefore, you have to be flexible in your strategies when working with autistic individuals. It's important to adjust your approach to their needs, not them to yours. Autism, like many neurodevelopmental differences, can be thought of as presenting with a range of strengths and challenges. Some individuals will experience only mild challenges, while others may experience profound difficulties that may require more intensive, ongoing support and intervention. And these difficulties can occur in the same or in different areas. Cognition or intelligence also spans the range from intellectually disabled and developmentally delayed to highly intelligent and gifted. Let's start with communication. People communicate to get their needs met, to socialize with others, to share experiences, and to ultimately build relationships. Some people with autism have limited verbal skills, and others have highly sophisticated vocabularies. Many autistic people, even those with strong linguistic abilities, may dwell on topics of special interest to them, and have trouble with back and forth conversations, especially with somebody new or unfamiliar. Even those with strong verbal skills may echo or repeat what you say. Remember, it's not meant to be jarring or problematic. It's just a repetitive, automatic behavior for some. As with anybody else, it is important to keep your language simple, direct, and easy to understand. Even highly verbal autistic individuals often have difficulty understanding abstract language, such as metaphors and sarcasm. Check in periodically with the autistic person and/or their caregiver using active listening skills to make sure they're understanding the information you've shared and that you are understanding them. Always provide clear opportunities to ask questions. Keep in mind that some autistic people need more time to process information and generate a response. Silence might not mean they did not understand your question. Conversation with people who have communication challenges may require extra time for the autistic person to formulate an understanding and give you their response. Remember, give time to save time. Some people with autism may be very anxious and have trouble speaking to unfamiliar people, especially when needing to share personal details about their lives. Even those who seem very outgoing on one day might become more reserved and inhibited on another day, depending on what else is happening in their lives at the time, the environment that they're in, or what they've already been through that day. Some people with autism may require a support person to help them communicate. This person may act as an interpreter or even speak on behalf of the autistic individual if they aren't able to convey their wishes and perspectives directly. And some people with autism may require information provided in more than one format. For example, many would benefit from having verbal information written down, such as directing them to a website with information or providing them with a handout so that they can process it in their own time at their own speed. It is especially important to provide descriptions or explanations on what to expect. Significant anxiety and distress can occur even with minor changes to routines, so any information you can provide them in advance to prepare is helpful. As well, autistic people often have difficulty processing sensory information. For example, sounds, smells, and tactile sensations can individually or simultaneously overwhelm the brain. One sensation can be too intense to handle, while multiple can create difficulty focusing on only the sensations that are important for the current situation. All sensations could flood the brain with equal intensity or volume, like being at a loud, crowded rock concert with bright colored lights shining towards you. Often, this can lead to distress, which can present in various ways, such as withdrawal, communication difficulties, increased intensity in behavior or speech, or fidgeting. Let's move on to behavior. People with autism often also have repetitive patterns of behavior. They may have scripted or repetitive speech-language patterns, or repetitive motor behaviors, such as hand flapping, body rocking, or other self-stimulatory behavior, also known as stimming. These behaviors often serve to calm or comfort. Some autistic people may be disinhibited, like having limited behavioral or verbal filters. Many have a reduced awareness of social norms or cues. For example, not recognizing when others are becoming uncomfortable, whether via body language, facial expressions, or tone of voice. When feeling distressed or overwhelmed, each autistic individual responds in their own way. Some will shut down entirely and be unable to communicate further or absorb any more information. Some may respond with frustration, anger, or aggression, and have difficulty calming down. Some may have learned coping skills and adaptations to deal with this inner distress in order to persist with activities important to them, such as the phone call or interaction with you. Sometimes how they respond may overlap. Remember, behavior is always a form of communication. The important part is figuring out what a person with challenging behavior is trying to communicate. Not being able to communicate their needs and feelings can lead to further anxiety, anger, and frustration, further exacerbating already challenging situations. Many people with autism may have difficulty with time management, organization, and planning. Again, this is very individual and does not apply to everybody. The next video will provide information on understanding the importance of service navigation so families can access the services and supports they need to live full and fulfilling lives.